Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Happy 2018 again. So we're here for our mid-monthly reading for the month of January 2018. Before I get into information about this month's reading, I just wanted to give a couple of quick announcements. First, to my returning subscribers, thank you very much for all of your wonderful comments that you've been leaving me. I really do appreciate your comments, your likes, and also for subscribing to the channel. For new viewers, I hope that you enjoy the reading, and if so, please feel free to share the video, and also please subscribe to the channel. That way you will be notified when I upload new videos, so you won't have to keep coming on and trying to find me. It will just appear as a notification. I did, at the beginning of January, I did the first giveaway, the full moon giveaway. So I had a winner for that one. She will be getting a 1-question reading coming to her. And this month, for those of you who did not participate and would like to, there's a second chance. We'll be having a second full moon at the end of January. So be looking out for the extra video that I put out on that full moon to find out how you can enter into the drawing and win your own free personalized reading. So stay tuned for that. Also, just another note about subscribers. I'm doing a special sort of push to get subscribers. So when I reach, my goal is to reach 5,000. And when and if I do, I will be doing a very special video for that. And I'll be giving away to do a drawing. And the person who wins the drawing will be getting a free reading for the remainder of the year for 2018. So depending on when I reach the 5,000 subscribers, if I reach it, within the next few weeks or month, then that person will receive, a free monthly personalized tarot reading for the rest of 2018 for each of the months of the year. So be looking out for that. So please, I do ask that you share the videos, subscribe if you haven't, help me reach this goal. I would be very grateful if you could. Okay, so to get into our reading, I'll be doing a mid-monthly reading today, focusing mainly on the areas of romance and relationships, and then career and finance. Okay, and it will be an individual reading for each of the signs, but looking at those two specific areas. For the main reading, for the romance and relationships portion, I'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron-Reid. And for the career and finance portion of the reading, I will use the Good Tarot deck, also by Colette Baron-Reid. And then I'll be pulling a couple of oracle cards to accompany the reading in order to save time. I will be shuffling, meditating, and pulling, already laying out the spread off camera just to really save us a little bit of time so we can get into the reading and try to keep it around the, 30-minute mark. So that's why you won't see the shuffle for this mid-monthly. Okay? All right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in 1 second for your individual sign reading. Thanks for now. Hi, Aquarius. Hope you're doing well. Hope the first 2 weeks of January have been good for you. So we're going to get into your mid-monthly reading for January. So this will be covering, from the middle of the month through the end of January, the energy surrounding us. You'll see that I already have the cards laid out here, again, just to really save time. And I have put at the top the career and finance portion of the reading. Okay, so you'll see those cards, and I'll go through each one with you, plus the overall energy for the 2-week period and the oracle cards. And then along the bottom, we have the romance and relationships reading, and then I'll move the camera around and show you the oracle cards that go along with those. So you have as the past energy, so this will be the energy, possibly from the first couple of weeks of January, or even extending back into, the month of December of last year. You have the Emperor, Major Arcana. Actually, your entire reading for the career and finance, you have Major Arcana cards. So significant cards, significant energy, significant messages, okay? In the present position, again, present is, time is very malleable. Whenever you listen to the reading is when you're supposed to hear the message. I would also encourage you to listen to not just your sun sign, if you're, an Aquarius sun sign, but also to your moon and rising sign videos. That way you'll be able to get, as these are general readings, by listening to all three of your signs, you'll really get a good overview of what's coming up during, the next 2 weeks. So you have in the present position, Major Arcana number 5, the Hierophant. And the future position, or the energy as you leave the month of January heading into February, you have Major Arcana number 8, Strength. And the overall energy for the 2-week period, Major Arcana number 12, the Hangman. Okay, so starting off with the Emperor card. So the Emperor card, the Emperor is, if this is a person, if this is somebody, that you have been dealing with or were dealing with over the past couple of weeks, generally we think of this person as a, sort of an older male individual, only because the Emperor is, in the Major Arcana, we have the Empress and the Emperor energy. So the Emperor is the ultimate guardian, the ultimate patriarch. He's very structured, right? He's very sure-footed. He's quite protective and authoritative. So he usually, he wants to protect his domain, okay? So you could have been dealing with somebody, in authority, or also sometimes the card appears if you've been dealing with somebody in authority. Since we're looking at career and finance here, this could have to do with, a large institution, and you also have the Hierophant here. So, both of these cards kind of together, they do suggest that you might have been dealing with or might be dealing with in the present, either some type of counselor or, seeking advice about something, because I'm kind of skipping over, but I'll tie the two together here, because the Hierophant, this card has to do with order and rules and, religious traditions. So we usually think of it as somebody who really upholds, these rituals and ceremonies. And we usually tie the card to things such as, like churches, large institutions that really follow these strict sort of rituals. And, so sometimes we think of it as like banks, universities, dealing with the government, dealing with the court systems, sometimes judges, courts. So with the Emperor and the Hierophant, this might be you, you might have been dealing with people in authority, right? This might just be you kind of following the rules, going along with whatever, rules or tradition or order might be within your workplace, following the rules, possibly in dealing with higher ups and dealing with people in authority. So this could be you dealing with your boss, dealing with somebody higher up in the company, really needing to stick to the rules for whatever reason. It could also have to do with people in authority coming in and giving you advice. So, this could be you meeting with, say, your bank manager, meeting with a lawyer, meeting with a spiritual counselor or a regular counselor, that type of person who'll really come in, if it's within the bank or government or schools, this is you seeking out somebody in authority or somebody in authority stepping in to help you in some way. This is the time of year when, if you're at university, a sort of class is going back, so you could have been dealing with people within the university, kind of planning, getting advice as you move into the new semester. This could be you talking with your bank manager, about your finances. This could be you sort of planning for something that's coming up, this year, and getting the financial planning and advice that you need. It could be you thinking about already tax season and getting, help or advice from tax people as well. So it could be many different things. Obviously, these are general readings, but the two cards both kind of speak of getting some type of help from somebody coming in to offer guidance. You kind of playing things by the book, doing things by, like you're supposed to do, is really following whatever, these these standards or, upholding sort of traditional beliefs. The Hierophant's slightly different because obviously the Hierophant has to do with religious tradition and order and spiritual practice. So this could just, could be you in the present, kind of looking to connect, to connect with the higher power. So maybe you're looking at meditation, following or practicing, having this, adapting or adopting a spiritual practice in your life. So rituals are definitely, at sort of high. They're good at this point. Maybe you need to meditate and think about whatever this advice is. So you receive some advice, you're sort of weighing things up, thinking which is going to be the best thing for you to do to follow this advice. And so you're taking this time to, to really connect and tap into your spirituality to try to gain some insight as well. And then we have as the outbound energy card, Major Arcana number 8, the Strength card. So this card is all about inner strength and courage and having the willpower, right? So when we speak of strength, it's really about, it's not about physical strength, although obviously there might be some of you out there watching who are physically strong, but it really deals with emotional strength, right? Having the willpower, having the strength of mind to get something done or to achieve your goal, right? To go the distance. And it's interesting because in this particular deck, the Strength card is labeled Endurance, and it speaks of going the distance. And the card that you had flip out for the romance portion of your reading in the past position is actually called Go the Distance. So it's interesting that the outbound energy for the career and finance is the Go the Distance, the Strength card, and then the past energy for the romance reading is also the same card. So the Strength card has to do with, yes, having the having the endurance, having the emotional strength to deal with whatever this might be, right? If this has to do with dealing with people in authority, dealing with the government, possibly dealing with institutions, things like that, having the courage and having the stamina to deal with these people or institutions, and also understanding that there is a divine timing to things. So if you're waiting for some type of answer back, right, from the government or from an institution, if this is you, maybe you've applied for a new job and you've just been waiting to hear back, right, sort of maybe the following the rules, doing things by the book is you going through all the process of applying, if it's applying online, filling out paperwork, that type of thing. It's just you knowing that there's a divine timing to whatever is going on. And so it's not sort of when you want or think that things will happen. It's really about, divine, when it's the right time, and according to divine timing for things to happen. And that's also echoed by the overall energy that you have for the next 2 weeks, because you have the Hangman. And what the Hangman really speaks of is this divine timing, is surrendering, right? You see that he is positioned, he's in an upside down position here. His leg is sort of loosely tied, right? But he has put himself in this position. He's not, nobody's made him hang upside down like this. And he actually has wings. I mean, he could very easily get out of this position and, fly away. He doesn't have to stay there. But he understands that this moment of sacrifice, this moment of surrender is necessary, and that nothing happens according to his timetable, right? There is, again, a divine timing. So there might be some type of delay. Maybe there's a delay in dealing with these institutions or hearing back from them. But whatever this delay is, it's understand and just know that it's in your best interest, right? That it's for your highest good. So let go of wanting to control things, right? Surrender to this divine timing and understand that things will happen when they're supposed to happen. So, if there's maybe you haven't heard about this job, or maybe you've applied for a loan and it's just taking longer, just understand that there's a reason for this delay, right? And you just need to kind of go the distance, have this emotional strength as you're waiting, but trust in the universe that there is a reason for this wait, right? So for some reason I'm getting really more like, either job opportunities you've been applying or possibly dealing with the government. Maybe this is dealing with the court system. Maybe it's dealing with the IRS. It's there's some, big institutions I feel that you might be waiting to hear back from. Now, the two cards that came out as your oracle cards, you have from the life purpose deck or the soul purpose deck, you have support. Your life purpose fully supports you. And from the Sacred Traveler deck, you have fogged in. Go slow, take time. Okay, so these two cards, let's begin with the Sacred Traveler card. So the fogged in card, basically what it tells you to do is, even if you can't sort of see what's coming up, right? Even if things seem a little foggy, you're unsure, could have to do with this taking time out, right? Waiting while things emerge. What it's asking you to do here is just, take time out to really tap into your deep intuition, knowing that power, right? Your power, your strength comes at these times of surrender, right? And what the Sacred Traveler card wants you to know, it says sometimes the mist and fog are so thick that the traveler feels uncertain about everything. Where am I going? What am I meant to do? Why can't I see what's ahead? However, it's in those moments of unknowing that the deepest and most profound answers to life's big questions can emerge. The secret is to traverse slowly and carefully so as not to fall off the path. Be careful, proceed with caution in all things as you sense the best direction. Listen to the whisperings of your soul. Trust your inner voice. So there's definitely this message of trust, right? Trusting, surrendering here, trusting in the divine timing. So just listen, listen to your inner voice and know that if there's a delay, if you're asked to wait, if things aren't, happening quite yet, there's a reason for that, and it doesn't mean to say that they won't. There's just, there's a reason why they haven't in the time that maybe you thought that they would or should happen, okay? And the life purpose or the support card, what it says, I'll just read directly from the guidebook for this to give you the full meaning of the card. It says you've drawn this card as a sign that you're fully supported as long as you fully commit to your life purpose. Hold positive intentions and follow your divine guidance. You may feel insecure about making a career transition. Perhaps you feel stuck in a job that offers you financial security with few other rewards. Maybe you've outgrown a profession that once fascinated you. Or you could be wondering how to build a financial foundation for your spiritually based business. The angels ask that you lean upon them as trustworthy business partners who illuminate and support your path. Your role is to continually talk with them, silently is fine, about your hopes, dreams, expectations, insecurities, and other issues. Tell them everything. Then listen to their answers, which come to you as strong and reoccurring feelings, ideas, and signs. If you're unsure whether this guidance is accurate, request additional signs and clarification. Like the world's best co-workers, the angels only have your happiness, peace of mind, and best interests at heart. So again, there's definitely this message here about trusting, right? About trusting in, in whatever is going on. And that might have to do with, this support and asking to call or calling upon your angels, calling upon the universe to provide you with some signs. Here we were talking about the need for possibly meditating or, or beginning some type of spiritual practice in order to tune in. So as you move through this, there might be, maybe this at calling upon the universe here for support will help get you out of this fog, right? Will help get you out of this hangman situation. Will help push you forward with whatever this, this might be, this dealing with. It could have to do with, I said here, it could have to do with jobs, right? Applying for new jobs. So this could be, you possibly having applied for a new job and just waiting to hear back, about the job. You going through, the hiring process, that type of thing. So there's a definite message here for calling upon, your angels, the universe. Sit down, take a few minutes out. It doesn't have to be, it talks about a spiritual practice, and that sounds very daunting, but it doesn't have to be a very elaborate process. A spiritual practice can be just you sitting down for 5 minutes each day in the morning or at night, lighting a candle and just sort of emptying your brain, just sort of sitting there, meditating, clearing your mind, right? And then allow whatever thoughts and, signs and messages to come in. It can be as simple as that. So, that's definitely a message coming through for you here, Aquarius. Okay, so let's move on. We have, along the bottom row, you see we have the Wisdom of the Oracle cards for your love and romance and relationships portion of the reading. So let me shift the camera over so that you can see the cards over here. I might have to move things around a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so in the past position, you have Go the Distance, card number 47. In the present position, you have New Life, card number 39. And in the future, the outbound energy you have for the month of January, Truth Be Told, card number 14. And the overall energy for these 2 weeks, we have card number 19, Flexible. And I'll go over the oracle cards in 1 second. So beginning with Go the Distance. Like I was saying, it really is very linked to sort of the message of the Strength card here. But obviously we're talking about relationships, right? Romantic or not. But the Go the Distance card, this card speaks of endurance. It speaks of strength, right? It speaks of, in order to bring your dreams to life, you really have to sort of focus on the long term, right? Yes, things, good things might happen. You might have ups and downs in a relationship. And that's, there might be obstacles that pop up, but it speaks of understanding how life is not, a sprint. It's not like a 100-meter dash. It's a marathon. So it's all about the need to have strength and the emotional, endurance and fortitude for you to make it through all of the ups and downs. So when thinking about a relationship, this card speaks of, either you're in or you're calling in right now a harmonious relationship, and one that can really go the distance, right? You're looking for a relationship that can kind of stand the test of time, that can stand the ups and downs, that can stand whatever obstacles might turn up. So with this appearing in the past position, this could have been you calling this in, looking for this type of relationship. If you aren't already in one, this could be around the beginning of January, even going back to, the end of last year. So you could have been calling in this new harmonious relationship, right? Which brings you here to the New Life card. So, maybe you've been calling in this this wonderful new relationship that will go the distance, that will go stand the test of time. And what's come in is this something new. Maybe a new relationship did appear, right? This card speaks of opportunities, sort of a breath of fresh air. Could be a birth of new ideas, right? You see that the woman is coming out of the egg here, right? And so she's, sort of emerging here with life's renewing itself. So if this is a new relationship, this could actually be the birth, the first steps in this new relationship, right? The beginning phases, the first few dates, those exciting moments at the beginning of a new relationship where you start to get to know, you start to connect with the other person, you start to get to know a little bit about them, right? So there's newness to it. If this is a current relationship, right, and this has just been you wanting to have this, long-term sort of relationship with the person, and maybe you have suffered a few ups and downs, Then with the new life card coming in, this could be you, this new life being breathed in, to the new relationship. So you might have changed some things within the relationship. You might, that you might be experiencing this new sort of rebirth, this new energy in your current relationship. Or again, this could be you starting up a new relationship. Many people watching, so obviously the messages are not going to be the same for everybody. But what you have is the outbound energy, is this card number 14, Truth Be Told, which is interesting because what the card actually has to deal with is, accepting things for what they are. The need for you to be open and transparent, right? And speak with clarity and communicate what you want clearly with the other person. If this is you beginning a new relationship, then this is, you sort of being open and being very honest in talking about your goals for the relationship and who you are and what you really are looking for, kind of opening up that window into your soul, really opening up your heart to the other person. Or this could be, vice versa. This could be the other person doing the same. But each person has their own truth, right? So truth be told, our truth is not always going to be the other person's truth, right? So when they open up themselves to us, right, it's all about accepting and being willing to accept the other person for who they are, right? So there is a need to speak, right? To speak your truth, but there's also this need to pay attention to what others are saying and listen to their truth and see if their actions match the words that come out of their mouth. Because some people will tell you something but act completely differently. So this could be a card that it's kind of a caution, to pay attention to that. And we see that this owl here is perched on top of this gold mask, which can have to do with somebody, or either you masking your true self or your feelings or the other person. So the need to look beneath that mask, right? And really get to the bottom of who that person is or who you are. So it's an interesting card to have as the outbound energy. And the card that is to sort of tie the whole reading together, the overall energy, or the card that was at the bottom of the deck for the last 2 weeks of the month, you have flexible, okay? And this is card number 19, which is interesting because the oracle card that we have, keep an open mind, it has almost the identical, almost the same message as this flexible card. Okay, so when we think of this flexible, obviously you can see the woman. She's let me show you her. She's perched. There's another egg here. You see, we have the woman here emerging from the egg, but here we have the woman, and she is balancing. Look how she's balancing. She's bent backwards, balancing on top of this very fragile egg, which isn't an easy thing to do. So it's all about being adaptable, right? Going with the flow, being flexible to new things, to change, when we think about like a tree, and how the tree has its roots deeply planted in the ground, but its branches still move flexibly, right? They sway with the wind, which, when there's a hurricane, many times the branches can just bend. They don't necessarily just break off, right? So it's all about being flexible and going with the flow and being willing to compromise, right? And when we think of a relationship, what this card really speaks of is when you enter into a new relationship, for example, there's not always the perfect time for that new relationship to show up, right? It might just come kind of out of the blue. It can also have to do with you meeting somebody who's not necessarily your type, right? But who can, turn out to be somebody who's very special. And if you kind of are flexible and let go of your old ideas about what what your perfect partner actually is, if you're flexible and kind of go with the flow and be willing to see the person for who they really are and give the person, a chance, you might be happy that you've made that choice, because they might turn out to be something, yes, completely different than what you maybe thought of that would be your type, but they might end up being, that person that could really offer you the relationship, this new experience that will kind of stand the test of time. Which is interesting here. I know I keep saying interesting, but it is, I think, because the card that flipped out from the Romance Angels deck is Keep an Open Mind. And it says, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Okay, and I'm going to read you what this card actually says. It says, the Romance Angel sent you this card as a reminder to stay open to the possibility of your soulmate appearing in a form that may differ from what you expect. This is especially true if you tend to date a certain type of individual. You drew this card to help you discover your soulmate. This card may signal that you've already been introduced to this person, but may have overlooked his or her romantic potential. Take the time to know the various individuals you meet, even if there isn't an initial attraction. At the very least, you will learn more about yourself and may make a new friend. Okay? And the other card that came out, the Oracle card, is the Romance card. And it says, lavish the one that you love with your personal attention and affection. And what this card speaks of is, the need to spend quality time with the other person, with your significant other. And whether you're in a relationship or not, it's all about, bringing romance back into your life. So if you're single, then this could be just you doing something for yourself, right? More than anything, I think that keep an open mind, especially paired with this flexible card, and the other messages contained in the reading. I think that that's really the most important message coming through for you, is that this might have been you calling in, your soulmate and looking for this new soulmate connection, but you might need to keep an open mind about it. You might need to be flexible. This person might not be, for example, if you typically say, oh, I don't usually date people who are like this, that, and the other, release some of that. Be flexible, be more open-minded about this new person if and when you meet them. But it looks like, overall looks like an interesting next couple of weeks for you. So I do hope that the messages have helped in some way, Aquarius. I thank you for joining me here today. Be looking out for the February general readings. I'll be posting those around the end of the month. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful rest of January 2018. Bye for now.